Fuck the record. Fuck the record. Fuck the people.
It's going to be a great pod. Move out of all of the distractions. Bring in the good podness.
What's that smell? Is that smell good podness?
That smell is Nong Champa. Oh no, wait a minute. My ashtray's on fire.
Shit.
Not funny. Not funny.
I'm wearing myself an English fucking nerd t-shirt today about punctuation. Saves lives.
Kids.
See, it's yep. There you go.
Let's eat, kids, or let's eat, kids.
Saves lives. And the number of times, okay, I find myself irritated on the regular basis with publications and their clickbait on fucking social media, especially when there's misspelled words, fucking bad punctuation. I'm like, you are a national publication.
Yes.
Shit doesn't happen in American fucking songwriter, does it? Goddamn right.
I had a song on an album called Lover Lie Down.
Ooh.
And the trick of it is lie, meaning L-I-E, lie.
Yeah.
But it is Lover Lie Down, and it was a sexual song and all of that. But I got so much shit from this one radio station, this chick that I think it was the University of Texas, but we were on tour and did an interview there and all that.
Yeah.
And she was a grammar Nazi. And she was like, so shouldn't it be lover lay down? And I was like, well, but it's like lover lie down with me. Let me lay you down. Like there's a whole, I do use lay in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was like, regardless, it's still correct.
Yeah.
And she's like, but no, I think it should be lover lay down with me. And I'm like, okay, let's just break it down. And we had to like go through it all together. I was like, there's also a license for songwriting. So
yeah, exactly.
You can go ahead
poetry.
And let that one go.
Yeah.
I was like, Bill Shakespeare made up a whole lot of fucking words that people would have been pretty mad about and phrases, you know.
My favorite is still Twixt.
There's a candy bar after that without the T.
Without the T, exactly. Yeah. It's also delicious. Yeah, it's delicious.
But like in a pickle, he made that up. Like you just, you know, if you can't, you just make it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Archer. Have you seen that show? It's an animated.
I've seen a few episodes of it. Yes,
it's a great show. There's this line that I constantly refer to where someone's going, you know, they say a word, they throw out a word, and one of the characters goes, "That's made up. That word's made up," and she just whispers into his ear, "They're all made up."
Yep, they're all made up. Yeah, and I had a friend once tell me he made words up all the time, and one time I kind of was like, man, you make up a lot of words. He goes, do you know what I mean by the word? I was like, yeah. And he goes, then why does it matter? I'm like, that is a fucking valid point.
Yeah. That was Hunter S. Thompson's point of view.
Yeah.
It's like, you go ahead and edit it. Do you understand what the fuck I'm saying? Well, but we got to clean it all up. Well, then that's on you. I don't really care.
I don't really give a shit. Go shoot something.
You should go look at some of his early writing, like just.
I have a lot of his.
Not great.
I have a lot of his shit here. It's actually, well, you know, behind this brick wall, there's a whole fuckload of boxes because we're.
If you knock on the third brick to the right, the whole wall goes
diagonally. Yeah. Hey, you're Michael St. James, and I am Stu Miller, and this is. Can you read the background? 2 Shots Music Pod.
2 Shots Music Pod. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, make sure to please subscribe on YouTube. A little bit more energy, Stu. Come on now. You got to give us 5 stars. Leave a hilarious comment over there on Apple Podcasts. And make sure you subscribe and like and hit that bell. Woo! Hit that bell, everybody. It really helps out the channel.
That sounded exhausting.
Wavy, whackable, and pretty inflatable waving arms. Hey, that's Stu Miller.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hello. I'm Michael St. James. Nice to see you. See you. Nice. That hunk of burning love. Hey, Stu.
Yeah.
What the fuck you been up to?
I am starting fires everywhere. And shit. I just realized the context of some of the conversations today. That was probably bad.
We'll get to
bad shit to say. But I am I've got some new musical projects I'm in the middle of. I've been learning a fuckload of music lately, which is really fun for me because I haven't really had much reason to learn a bunch of songs, learn a bunch of news, like especially like new players and stuff like that. So this new player kind of got into my orbit a little bit and learned a bunch of his parts, and I've just like fucking taking a hard right through guitar playing right now, and it's fun as hell. So that's what's been going on around here.
Baby, come back.
Wow, wow, wow.
Not everybody gets that joke. That's player. Thank you.
I can get it. I got it because I've covered that song before.
Yeah, you should. Everyone should cover that
great
song someday.
Great song. Yeah.
It's great.
So,
great
what, Michael, what the fuck is it you say that you've been up to?
I've been on 4 Zooms with lawyers. I've been trying to find the district consumer affairs manager for the U.S. Postal Service.
That sounds fun.
Because the one I previously talked to has been fired. The one who replaced him has been fired. The one they list, if you can ever find a list, just try to find someone to email at the Postal Service.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Can't get a hold of Ben Gibbert. Now, that's another joke that if...
That's pretty good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was pretty... That's a deep cut right there. Yeah, I've been dealing with... We had some postal trucks come and deliver mail on Saturday to our building at 6:30 p.m. on a Saturday.
Wow.
One.
Yeah.
That's not Saturday anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't normally deliver at 6:30. So there's like whoever's doing it fucked up their route, clearly. Yeah. 2 trucks parked in our parking lot in resident spaces. One of them took up 3 spaces, like parked a sconce, if you will. Thank you, I will. And both of them, neither of them, whichever way you would like to say it, had license plates. No license plates whatsoever on the front or back of them. They're clearly U.S. Postal Service trucks. They had identifiers on, painted on them, 7-digit numbers or whatever.
Okay.
But like we have a loading zone.
Yeah.
So I got, some of my neighbors are like, hey, what's going on with these postal trucks? Like, we have some people like work off hours, work at hospitals and things like that. And like they're getting home at 6 o'clock and it's icy and it's cold and it's like, what the fuck? We can't. And can you tow a postal truck? Probably not. That kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's fallen on me because I've been the person that's dealt with these people before when they have left our whole mail banks open all night long.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a federal crime.
Yeah.
Like basically. And so it's like one of these things where it's like, look, I'm not just saying like your postal service carrier is a dick or anything. Like y'all are pulling some shit that I don't care for. And we need to fix it. And
on private property.
And it's really, really, really hard to get a hold of anyone. And so here's the ongoing theme. I've also had to talk to a few executives this week.
Oh,
executive to executive on some higher issue deals, right?
Okay.
How do I put this in a nice way? Well, I don't. Everybody sucks at their fucking job right now. I don't know how else to put it. Like there are lawyers I've talked to that had no idea about the legal concepts we were speaking on.
Okay.
I literally heard her Googling it. I'm like, why are you Googling? Like, you can't even trust that anymore with the AI overview.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a few executives I talked to that just like were just clueless about what the meeting was about. And like, hey, can you just kind of run me through it again? I'm like, no, you're wasting. It's just been a very difficult time with, these are not people who are cashiers that are, kind of being lazy. No, these are like people who should know what the fuck they're doing and be efficient with their time. And so that has really grinded my gears.
Yeah. My kid often points out to me that we are about 5 years away from a generation of professionals, doctors, lawyers, that kind of people who pass their tests using ChatGPT.
Oh my God. Yeah, I just see just so much brain drain. And I know some teachers, obviously, high schools that are just like, I've spent all of my time not grading tests, but whether or not it was generated.
Yeah.
Whether or not it was AI'd or GPT'd.
Yeah.
Like they're using it as a verb, GPT'd.
Yeah.
And she like writes on a paper with red marks and all that. This is GPT'd. Fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I know this isn't your writing.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And okay, back to the very beginning of this conversation. The kid's response is, what does it matter if I got the answer right?
Mm, mm, mm.
It's hard to like. I'm trying to put myself in that 16-year-old kid's shoes, which is difficult because I wear a size 12. But
Yeah.
I am. But I'm trying to put myself in those shoes and like basically like when I was 16, I absolutely was that smart ass kid who would
Yeah.
use everything I could.
Yeah.
I was the kid who got the syllabus and went home and I tried to finish all the tests ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
and then was like, I don't need to show up to class. I have the test done. They're like, no,
Yeah.
you still have to show up. That's,
Yeah.
I was like, why? I'm just trying to get on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And
But
so I imagine I would have done the same thing and I feel horrible about it.
to a certain extent, but I was raised in such a way, and I believe you probably were, to value a certain amount of education, intellect, and intelligence. Like there's
Yes.
something to be said for, like, now if like I had teachers that I did not get along with, mainly because I had a different opinion about what I should learn. But like, I have taken a love of learning beyond school. I'm not getting graded on it. I don't give a shit about a fucking test. I care about coming out of there with some reason to give a shit about what I just learned.
Right. Can you
And
expound upon it?
yeah, and I want to leave. I left most educational experiences. High school was a little different, but like every higher education experience I had, I left with a desire to learn more about the subject I had just gotten schooled on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's happening anymore, and that's why I like to play music.
And I also think I know that teachers and professors have a great deal to do with that. Like you get the wrong match,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't like hearing, like, I hate the messenger,
Yeah.
and I feel bad about that because then this is all compounding, right? Like you have these teachers who are burned out, frazzled, stretched to their
underpaid,
limits, unpaid. You've got
paid
kids
for their own shit.
You got kids who are playing on their phone while you're paying for school supplies that their parents don't care about, and their parents want you to start being the disciplinarian,
Mm-hmm.
but legally you can't even hit a kid anymore, I guess.
Well, what about with a car?
Oh, sure, you can. Yeah, out in the parking lot.
Like
Yeah,
clipping them. I mean, I'm just kidding.
a bump. You
A
can.
bimp? A bimp?
A bump, a bumpity bip, a bump, a boom. Yeah, I feel bad for teachers and for students right now.
Yeah.
And yet, we're living in a time where so much knowledge is at everyone's fingertips. And so, how strange is that we're at this point where it's like we're getting more stupid kids.
Yeah.
And we're getting less effective teachers at a time when mass education is available for cheaper.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'll tell you what, though. One of the things that's okay. This is a deep conversation. We were in the fucking weeds, everybody.
That's right. This is what we've been up to.
So with because I've been learning a whole bunch of new music, like occasionally, like especially when I'm learning stuff from like the 70s and 80s, where it's all on a tape, unless it's Steve Lukather, it's not exactly the same every time.
True.
There's little variances. Lukather was a fucking king when it came to consistency. Like there is nothing. It's those records are brilliant, but. So a lot of times I'm like I hear a thing and I go, I can't quite hear what that is. It's in the mix in a weird way, It's like it's buried, or like I'm getting the reverb on, the one side, and I can kind of hear it. So I basically go look for a bunch of live versions, and occasionally they don't play it in the live versions. So then I go find some guy online who is a teacher, like, hey, welcome to Chad's Guitar Academy, and today I'm going to show you "Baby Come Back" by Player, right? And I will watch it and I'll go, that's not what I'm hearing. So even though somebody up there and the education is free and it's available, it's not always right.
Right. Exactly.
So it's, like, and so we're at a point now where sometimes the opinion is what is getting taught rather than the facts,
Which
and
makes it all the more important about like what we were taught is that it's how to learn is more important than learning.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Like to discern what is good information and bad information and scientific method and steps and
Yeah. And to be fair, like a lot of these guys, none of these like for me, I'm gonna go ahead. I just hope both teams have a great time. The thing I'm saying is, like, this is my opinion. I'm not stating that I am absolutely 100%. I said that's not what I'm hearing. I'm not saying that that's wrong. That might be what that guy heard. I'm not going to fucking, beat him up for that or, like tell him he's wrong, because music, to a certain extent, there is a degree of interpretation,
Well, especially with recorded music, I
Yeah.
think people forget that, like, especially in the early days, there are, 20 tracks that are comped.
Yeah.
And, that may not be what you're hearing when you hear it on the radio because it's mixed in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so,
Exactly.
like, whatever that lead line is, there's probably harmony lines under and
Yeah.
over it. And, like,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's mixed up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
so you have to play what you think most people
Yeah.
think the song is.
If you get the vibe right, it's
Yeah.
way more important than getting the exact notes, I would
Yeah.
say,
You don't want to play the exact Lindsey Buckingham thing when it was probably buried way the fuck in the mix. Like, if it's in
Yeah.
the sheet music and you're like, I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
And like, I
I've had
heard
a
it
few of
this
those.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes
'Cause
you're
that's the
playing
chain all day long.
Yeah. Well, having played that a few hundred times in larger places, there's a way that riff translates to the back of the room that isn't the intimate version you hear on the recording.
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely. Yeah,
so
it's all
there you go.
slapping back and everything.
There's a bunch of our bullshit. What I've been doing, what you've been
All
doing.
right, there you go. All right, let's get to a little music biz bits, everybody. Hey,
yeah.
Music biz
it's bits.
bits.
I said it right.
Music biz tits.
Music biz bites tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it that way. Music biz bites tits. I don't know. We'll do it that
Ow.
way. We're gonna mention the wildfires in LA as we have to.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you about, like, if you know anybody or whatever, but I want to mention that the Grammys are still going forward on February 2nd at crypto.com arena. That's in downtown LA. Look for Doechii to get Best New Artist, I think.
Yeah.
We will be posting Red Cross and Music Cares link, especially for our musician community in LA. There's some other resources that we're going to try to verify and make sure Guitar Center and Slate Audio and some other people in the music community are doing some amazing things for people who've lost their studios or their instruments or their ability to make music as a living right now. I know that most of my friends and people I know very closely are okay. They're all right. Some of their stuff isn't. But as far as I know, most of them are okay, fared a lot better than other people. I will say this about this, having lived in LA, and I know people from LA. I travel there. That's my other location. Don't think of it as like, oh, all these rich people lost houses, especially like in Altadena. Like, Altadena that's where, like, the Grips live. That's where, like, the second engineers live. That's where, like, a few studio guys, like, they're not making $400 million. They're not $40 million houses. These are $1.2 million houses that should be $600,000 houses.
Yeah.
And with a small yard, and they drive a Honda, and they go to Sunset, and they, and they work as musicians. And these are not rich people. Yes, of course, there were plenty of people in the Palisades that, fare well, and same thing with Malibu and all of that. But also, even in that case, those are people that earned money for a long, long time. And probably enriched your lives and everything. And so I want to push back a little bit on this, fuck LA, and, oh, well, they'll get by. They'll get fine. There are at least 10,000 homes gone.
Yeah.
And more so than that, like my gal, my partner, she lost her junior high. Okay. So the house that she grew up in was in the evacuation zone. And this is just south of Altadena. It's around Pasadena and Sierra Madre. And just think about that. Like, I went to my junior high last year. We talked about it on this podcast. I had to walk the dog around it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily the same crap that you get when you go back to an old school and you're like, oh my God, the lockers are smaller.
Yeah.
I remembered the view of the mountains from junior high and the view of the road. There were things that, like, coalesced in, like, a 40-year memory.
Yeah.
That were amazing to know that was there. And I had talked to these people who, like, they lost their junior high school. Like, it's gone forever.
Yeah.
And there's a few other things, like from the Rose Float Association. Some of those things are kind of gone forever. So it's not just the houses, but, like, the haunts, the place you used to go, the schools, the store, the music store, the vinyl store, like a bunch of those kind of things are also gone. And that is, like, it's kind of a pain inside of you that you don't know how to deal with. And, like, I know, like, my gal, she's dealing with, like, I mean, it's not like I've ever been back to that junior high. It's not like I care. It's not like I give money to them, but just a part of your past and history is wiped forever.
Yeah.
And not for a new one, not for something progress. And so just a little bit of those stories, spread a little care and a little joy there. We will have all of these links in here. How about you? How about the people that you know out there? How
A bunch of my, I mean, I know we both know a lot of fucking musicians out there. And I mean, they all make more money than I do, but I don't begrudge them any of that stuff, like any of that stuff. So when people are like having these opinions on, fuck California or rich, and blaming, whatever politician you decide to blame today for this. The fact of the matter is, these are all human beings, and if you are so callous and cold and disconnected from your humanity that you cannot recognize that, I'm gonna ask you to get the fuck out of my store.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, because it's just, I mean, even if I dislike somebody, I do not wish them harm. I really don't.
No.
There are obvious exceptions to that, Hitler being one. But this is not a time for that kind of thing. There are, we've got friends that grew up in Colorado that live out there, songwriters, professional, recording engineer. Bob Clearmountain lost his entire fucking studio.
Yeah,
lost all like equipment that was that is irreplaceable because of the energy and people that sang into it or performed into it or hit the drum or whatever, the energy that was put in those things, it's all fucking burned up. So
something people should understand about this, if you are dabbling in the music industry, many of us, I recorded a song on a mixing console that was used for Berlin I'm a Bitch. Okay. And so there are often times where you're using a piece of equipment, a Neumann mixing console, whatever it is, a compressor or whatever, and you're in the studio and an engineer will be like, that compressor, I use that on the Johnny Cash Hurt thing. Or that thing. And like there is some magic from the people who've been before you. It's a strand that goes through the time of music, and some of those things are now gone forever.
That's exactly right. Well, so if you see all these links,
we see the links, and we'll
we've
do
done
all the
it.
things.
So please help out our,
do what you can if you can.
People.
And by the way, later on this year, there's going to be some need for little trips to Santa Monica, do a little trips to LA, and give them some, let's get some people back and going. All right, so that's enough for that. Thank you very much. Thoughts and prayers, if you pray, whatever, sending all the good juju out to everyone who's hearing this out in LA. We wish you well, and anything we can do to help, send us an email, 2ShotsMusicPod@gmail.com.
I got an extra room and Les Pauls. You're welcome to.
I've got some things if you want them. So whatever you need. And also, services and everything like that. I know we've reached out to people personally. There's a lot of industry stuff that's affected by this too. Yes, it's musicians and recording and all that. But I mean, licensors and publishers and label people and marketing people. Like, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff that needs to get picked up. And it's not as if there weren't albums coming out or records coming out and all that.
Or television shows being made that are in post that need to, place needle drops, and all that kind of stuff in them. And now they're just it's just everything is on hold, and it's just, the business is shut down again for a different reason,
Anyway. And it sucks. All right. Also, right now, TikTok is still working as you listen to this. By our next episode, we shall see. If you're a musician who's been working on TikTok a lot and you need to start transitioning to shorts or reels, we're also going to put a link in here for something that I have found that's pretty cool. That's called a mass TikTok downloader that can download all of your TikToks from your musician profile so that you can start slinging them on reels. And I mean, you'll still have to do some stuff, but it won't have the watermark. It's a Chrome plugin. So you'll have to use it on Chrome, but it works awesome. So we're going to put the link in here to kind of help you for that.
Fantastic.
Hopefully there's going to be another stay of execution for another 270 days from Markey. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? I personally think it's all being set up for Trump to strike a deal with China and like become the hero here,
China.
because he knows that he's backwards on this one.
Yeah.
If TikTok does get the opposite way, it's like,
Mm.
how's that free speech? So anyway,
Mm.
and I know China and all that kind of shit, but whatever. So we'll see what happens with TikTok. But we have a link in here to help you get over on Reels and Shorts. That's what you're going to have to do. And if you fucking hate Zuckerberg, get over on Shorts.
Yeah.
Or for YouTube, because we like YouTube.
Yeah.
By the way, hit that bell and subscribe to YouTube
Ding.
and follow our channel.
Ding. Yeah.
One more thing I want to bring up here, which I don't think you have on your rundown.
I do
Two
not.
musical acts were confirmed for Trump's inauguration.
They were.
And that's coming up next week, I believe.
Mhm.
And I would like you to know who they are. I
Kid
would
Rock.
like everyone to know who they are.
Kid Rock.
I would like everyone to really, really, really know who they are. One of them is Kid Rock. Duh.
Yeah.
Another one is Carrie fucking Underwood.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's unexpected.
Right.
But, you know.
But there it is. Okay, so Carrie Underwood. And another one is the fucking Village People. So if you've been alive in America for the last 4, 6, 8 years, you know that that guy has been using YMCA as one of his walkout songs all the time in his little hate-filled events. And let's be clear, there's only one living member of Village People left. So this isn't the band, the Village People. This is one guy who's basically the only one left.
Isn't that a lyric in the song? One guy.
One guy, his name is Victor Willis. And
one guy.
His name is Victor Willis. He is a co-writer. He actually lost part of the writing and then got copyrights back, and then they kicked the third writer out. Now he is the sole co-writer, and he's the sole surviving writer of the song. He's the guy that dressed up as a cop and then as a naval officer.
Oh, fantastic.
And both of them, Carrie Underwood, I think she's singing America the Beautiful, and also Village People, have been getting a lot of shit online about playing the inauguration, in my opinion, as they should. Mm-hmm. Because they both are saying it's time to put politics aside and come together in unity. We need to unify the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally, I would agree with this in normal times. This motherfucker is not a unifier. This is a guy who honestly talks and acts in a way that would put people at harm in America, from LGBTQ to transgender to immigrants to black people, in some cases, certain women. He's a convicted felon, and this is not I'm sorry, fuck you with your talk about unity. We're not just talking about trade agreements. We're not just talking about tax policy. We are talking about people who are going to be negatively affected by this motherfucker. And so, fuck them. There you go. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm sorry. Did you say he dressed up like a naval officer?
A naval officer.
So
not
there's
just
going to be
guy.
seamen.
Yes, there will be seamen on the stage.
I couldn't help it. I've been sitting here. I know you had a passionate moment.
Oh, he's
and
out
all
here
I had
saying,
going in my head.
He's out here saying it's not a gay anthem, and he will sue anyone who says it's a gay anthem.
Seaman.
And Victor, I'm saying it's a gay anthem.
It's a gay anthem. It's even portmanteau at this point.
Come at me, bro. No, it's just about black guys having fun and playing basketball and swimming. You can fuck off. It's a gay anthem. Okay, there we go. It's not up. It's first of all, as a songwriter, it's not up to you to say what the song becomes.
Isn't it supposed to be lay down?
Lie down, lay down, semen.
Yeah, okay.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's get on to Turn You On. Yeah. Woo, coming in hot today. I'm telling you. I'm not in the fucking mood for these people. All right, it's time to turn you on. We're going to turn you on to a new song and an old song, and we want you to go listen to them. You'll see the links, and we'll talk about them. Just go listen to them. This is your homework for the week. We've talked about kids. Don't GPT this.
Yeah, don't GPT.
Click the thing and listen to it. It will change your life a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
We can't get the rights to that.
Jump in.
I would, but the sound exchange numbers are.
Oh, my love. Jump in.
I was going to do Freeway of Love next, but no.
We're already down 36,000 for this
episode. Exactly.
All right, I guess I will go on this one.
Yeah.
Mine is from Sports Team.
Sports
Team.
Yeah.
It's a song called Bang, Bang, Bang.
Yeah.
This is a 5-piece based in London. Classic story of meeting at Cambridge.
Ooh.
Although one of them went to, I believe, Bristol. The bass player went to
Oh.
University of Bristol.
Gotcha.
This band is a 5-piece that they change their style all over the place, like a true alt rock band.
Excellent.
When you listen to this song, this is not what their other songs sound like. Okay? So it's kind of a different sounding song. This is sort of a Western, spaghetti Western kind of sounding song. And I'll let Stu talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
It's about what they think a Western cowboy gunfight music would sound like. A true UK style of that.
Yeah.
And here's what's interesting is this band was robbed in California on their first day of their first US tour.
Oh.
They were outside of a place. They saw guys jumping into their van. The manager ran up to stop it. They stole their stuff and their passports.
No.
They got a gun pulled on them. They go back into the Starbucks. They call the cops. And as is true for so many in America, cops didn't do anything. Said fill out an online form. Everyone at the Starbucks just went back to serving coffee. Just like, and this band, which is from, obviously from Cambridge and London, they're just like, what? Like, that's it?
That's it? Yeah.
We're not gonna chase them. The cops aren't gonna come and talk to us, take fingerprints, nothing to check the camera footage. The Starbucks didn't even slow down. They're just like, Bill, you're mix Vontae, like next thing right on. And so this is basically kind of in response to that, I believe. This is a lore story with this band. You should really listen to the rest of the band's catalog. I really like it. I'm in Love parentheses Subaru is fucking amazing. I love that song.
Yeah.
And Cool Kid, a very cool song as well. Lots of very cool music. So that's mine. Sports Team, Bang Bang Bang. What did you think of it?
I dug it. It's still got that. It's very British sounding again. Like there's a theme around these here parts lately. Like it's definitely.
I guess I'm moving. I don't know.
Like if you look at the waveform on it, it vacillates between a fucking solid line and about like I don't know, a quarter-inch wide with some nice little peaks and valleys on it. Because it's like when they hit that chorus, it is just like and then the bang 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 being like the big part of the theme with the drum, like bang bang bang. Like I thought that was fucking cool and fun, and it reminded me of like kind of a Franz Ferdinand kind of thing, but yeah, it's interesting how it kind of went together because I did not expect it to have the spaghetti Western twangy, like trimmed up guitar and the whistle solo and all the reverb on it. Like, like Quentin Tarantino opened his trailer and is like, who's listening to my shit?
Yes, very much. This would have been in a Quentin movie.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Some of the lyrics are really, really fun. There was the line about, like still getting robocalls from the NRA in the first verse. I really liked that line. I
liked he don't get hard unless he takes his gun to bed.
Wasn't that true for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. It's really, really cool. And I mean, the bridge also took a turn too. Like some of those chords, like it was pretty straightforward, kind of caveman-y. It does not sound like a 5-piece band, I will say.
No.
It sounds like a trio. But like that. But then they hit that bridge, and you go, I see why they're a 5-piece now.
Yeah. Like in other songs, you'll hear horns everywhere.
Oh, fucking cool.
And keys. Like it's a departure for what they do.
Yeah.
But it's really fucking good. And I just imagine it slays live.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole lot of callback of bang bang.
Yeah. Something I like about this stuff. How did you hear this song? How did you find this song? Is it just is it getting fed to you now because you've trained your computer to do what you want to do?
No, I have a certain way that I am my algorithm.
Yeah.
For searching for new music on Fridays and then on Tuesdays. And for music supervisors, it's something I've done for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And a lot of times now I really focus on YouTube a lot. And so I'm looking for a lyric video or I'm looking for, it doesn't matter. It can be an album cover video. It can be a real video. It can be a lyric video. But I am looking for bands that know how to tag their shit right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like there's certain searching that I do on,
Yeah.
and I have to go through 200 songs.
Oi.
But then I also break it down by like tier structures. It's not really regional,
Yeah.
but there's like sort of English, there is like sort of Asian,
Mhm.
which gets into like Punjabi music
Yeah.
and like sort of southern Thai music, and then Far East kind of Asia, which is just a horrible term, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so that's like I get into like South Korean, Japanese, like I go pop, rock, and funk,
Yeah.
and then indie throughout all that. So, but I'm searching for independent music that is not on a major label. So
Yeah.
I throw out pretty much all the rap, pretty much all the pop stars.
Yeah.
Like I can find you all the brand new songs.
Mhm.
I'm looking for the independent bands that either have a team or have
Mhm.
paid attention to what I've written, what we've said,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they know how to tag their shit correctly, to where if I'm a music supervisor and I'm looking for the latest release from somebody that I can contact today and license their song, I will find it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
those are the ones that I normally, in all of these, those are normally the ones that I pull up to try to, like we did Lola Young in a podcast that did not come out 2
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah.
And then of course Justin Hawkins gets on it.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
that's got 1.5 million hits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a huge thing on TikTok. And so
Excellent.
like there, but that was, you can tell like a and there was a group of us of music supervisors. We don't really do it right now. We'll probably do it again in the spring, but there's a group of music supervisors that was like a race where we were looking for songs, and we would like exchange notes and be like, did you find the one from Bristol?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that would be, or did you find the punk trio chicks? And that would
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
Lambrini Girls. By the way,
Yeah.
Lambrini Girls #3 this week. But
Fantastic.
like I'm telling you, the ones that we find, I can tell which ones are going to go. I'm not
Mm.
just picking ones that I think are good. I'm picking ones that I think are great and are going to
Yeah.
go, and
Yeah.
we want to put a little volume under them.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Does
I was
that
just
answer
curious.
it?
Yeah, that is. I was just curious.
Okay.
And yeah. People should read your writings to know what to do on YouTube.
Yeah. Who cares? They don't care.
Lay down. Lay down.
So
Lie
that's
down.
the first. That's the first one. That is "Bang Bang Bang" by Sports Team.
Yeah.
Sports Team.
Yeah.
Sports Team. One word. Bang Bang Bang. You'll love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the old song. And I fucking love this song.
Me too. This is an
Right.
excellent fucking choice.
Overkill by Men at Work
Mhm.
/ Colin Hay.
Yep.
You can find multiple versions of this everywhere. The full band version is the one we'll probably put here. The original one from Cargo, which was the band's massive hit album. This
Yeah.
was surprisingly the second single from the album, which just it didn't fit on Cargo at all. A
Yeah.
reggae
Yeah.
album, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reggae out of Australia.
Mhm.
Very strange.
Who knew? Yeah.
But it's also the first song that Colin Hay wrote. They said he felt like he could make a living as a songwriter, and
Yeah.
he was right.
Yeah.
Because it's a song that stands the test of time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people may have become familiar with this song when he played it live on Scrubs.
Yep. I knew this song before then, but that was the first, and I love that acoustic version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know from a few people that had told me about that. Like, and then there's a whole Reddit thread about it, by the
Yeah.
way. But I mean, the first line, I can't get to sleep. I mean, come on. Come
Yeah.
on. That's
Yeah.
how many people like that's talk about universal songwriting.
Mhm.
Like, I can't get to sleep. Whatever comes after that, you can relate to.
Yeah.
Whether you're
Yeah.
a man or woman or
Yeah.
kid or older, or does not matter. Like, that is just a great first line. And
Yeah.
so there you go. Overkill, Men at Work / Colin Hay.
Fantastic choice. That is a really, and also a big sexy saxophone
Yeah.
solo in this one, you know?
Which
And
mirrors the melody. Day
Yeah.
after day.
Yeah, the nice little echoes on there.
Have you
Cool
played
fucking delay.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played this one, and the delay guitar solo in the bridge is fucking in the middle is really cool. And the harmony solo coming out of that. Oh, it's such a beautifully produced song. And
Yeah.
but okay, so the production on the song is fucking amazing. But then, like, just listen to him do it just acoustically
Yeah.
by himself.
Search the Colin Hay
Yeah.
acoustic version.
I've seen him a couple of times in concert with his band, and it's, you know, like it is a hodgepodge of musicians up
Is it
there.
the one with
and
his wife?
yeah, and it's fantastic. And they do that. I mean, every time they do the song, and he still sings like a motherfucker too. He is still fantastic. Anyway, great song, great choice for the old song.
I also, though it's such an intimate song when you play it live.
Yeah.
Like you know, every day you can just tell it's one of those things where you're like, this is not a well-known song, and yet it is.
Yeah.
It's a deep cut Betty kind of over the top, like everybody's like, oh, that song, that's the one.
Yeah. I don't know how many people actually know who originally performed it.
No,
you know?
no.
Yeah.
Or the name of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So Overkill, there you go.
Great choice.
All right, everybody, let's get to the sing
okay, so finally, even though I'm in the middle of like a couple weeks ago, I was able to finally finish off season 4 of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, very nice.
I would like to give a shout out, and I really hope that for season 5, you know, I for season 5 that Paul Rudd continues to make an appearance.
Yes,
because it was the 4th season was fucking gorgeous, and it was really, really well done and really beautiful. I really like season 3 with you know, the musical as well, but season 4 had the use of a song called Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now, the theme from Perfect Strangers. And that was it kind of started showing up in episode 3 of season 4. And they use it in a fun and irreverent way, and it just keeps popping up. Is that the theme from Perfect Strangers? You know, so it was a very, very, very fun little drop. I did not write it down because I'm a terrible person who actually fucking performed that song originally. But hold on, let me see if I can find it. The theme.
Standing tall on the wings of my dreams.
Yes, let's see here. Nothing's Gonna Stop Me Now. Song and lyrics by Lower Coast Skies. Sung by David Pomerantz.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's
my favorite note in that song, which, by the way,
Okay.
I think it is one of the best. Like that, I would say top 5, but I'm probably gonna go number 1 for TV theme songs.
Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and argue with you there, Bob.
It's arguable. I know. But there is a note in that song, and we're gonna find the links and all the stuff here.
Yeah.
Nothing gonna sound this time. There is the way he goes up to time.
Yeah.
Kills me.
Yeah.
It is so good. It's perfect.
Beautiful.
The way that it is, like it is this. It's so 80s too.
Yeah, it's very 80s.
Yeah, but
I would throw the theme from The Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, it's good.
Joyce Garvey up there. Okay, before I forget,
1A, 1B.
Bruce Gilbert, supervisor on that. It is the last 2 seasons of Only Murders. They really hit their fucking stride. So if you didn't quite get into it in season 1, I understand it was a little clumsy. Season 3, by the time you hit season 3 and 4, it is a fucking well-oiled machine.
Yeah,
Galifianakis rules.
There's just so many people in it now.
Yeah,
it's just a huge ensemble movie.
Yeah, it's
I don't know why you wouldn't watch it.
It's wonderful too. Anyway, that's my sync. Let's move on.
Shout out to Steve Martin. Steve Martin's really the and his co-writer, who are the creators of it.
Yeah,
Steve Martin's behind it. So
fantastic.
Great show. Thank you, Hulu, for making it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get to mine.
Excellent.
Mine, I've been just cracking out on Landman.
Ooh, Billy Bob.
Paramount Plus. You've seen about it. You've heard about it. Trust me, you need to go see it. I don't know how you're going to go get Paramount Plus. I don't know if you know where it is.
It's not on the cock.
I'm not even going to make fun of Paramount Plus because they got 3 shows I love now. So I'm not even going to make fun of them because they might give me a free subscription.
Excellent.
No, I'm just kidding. But I love Landman. I partially love this. It's not for everybody, obviously.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton is a fucking force to be reckoned with in this. He is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Ali Larder is fantastic as well.
Excellent.
John Hamm's in this one.
Oh, good. I love him.
There's plenty of people. Now they're kind of window dressing. It's
Billy Bob's
Thornton.
fucking show.
And but the thing is that the thing about the show is if you've listened to this podcast for any amount of time, I used to spend a lot of time down at the ranch in Texas.
Yeah.
I've spent a lot of time down in South and West Texas. And so if you have been in Texas, if you've been immersed in Texas, and I'm not talking about Houston or Dallas or whatever, I'm more talking about the real Texas. Then this is it's like a love letter to being there.
Oh, nice.
Some of the scenes take as long as it feels that drive takes.
Yeah, excellent.
Half of the stuff is him driving in a truck on a long 2-lane highway.
Wow.
Like a lot of the dust, the patina of the coloration of the whole show is this yellow dust over everything.
Yeah.
And it is so true to Garza County, to Midland, Texas, to West Texas. All of it is so true to a lot of it. Now, I've heard from my oil people that some of the terms they use, some of the things that they talk about, the patch and all that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's fine. It's a Taylor Sheridan thing. It's basically Yellowstone in Texas.
Wow.
In modern times for oil.
Yeah.
But I will also tell you, down at the ranch, we had landmen come. We had a derrick on the ranch that had already been, sealed up, and they were trying to do fracking at the time. And so I'm very aware of this whole, there's a lot of people in Texas that have 99 acres.
Wow.
And you just go and you find out whether it's in the right field or not. And they're all trying to just well, if you frack it, you'll get 25% of it. And, but for the most part, most of these people do not make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of money. And then you got a bunch of shit on your property.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting show. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about this show, all of it is country drops. All of it.
Excellent.
It's all country sync other than LaGrange from ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, yep.
Which, by the way, I was just 20 minutes south of LaGrange. So LaGrange, Schulenburg, down to Hallettsville and Victoria. Oh, there's Texas people right now going, ooh, talk about language. Anyway, so my sync of the week is Red Clay Strays' Moment of Truth. If you do not know this song, go listen to it. Just stop this podcast right now. Nothing that we have to say is better than what you will hear here. This is one of the better fucking songs I've heard in the last 5 years. I've been on Red Clay Strays since this album came out. It was their debut album of the same name, Moment of Truth. By the way, shout out to Juliana.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she is a massive fan of Red Clay Strays.
She
was an early adopter as well. I would say we both found them early. And she has been more a supporter of them than I have.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if I can say it. Well, a little birdie told me Red Clay Strays has an amazing sync coming up this spring for a major national comedian. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
You heard it here first.
Oh.
Ding, 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 it didn't go really big then when they dropped it. And then they met with WEM, Willie Morris Endeavor, and they were trying to get a label deal. And then we're like, no, we kind of want to go independent. They signed with a company called 30 Tigers. If you know about them, 30 Tigers is basically a music marketing company that releases albums and promotes it. They kind of do what I do. They let everyone keep their masters, but they push the shit. Yeah. Well, that was a great idea because now they are just blowing the fuck up. By the way, this episode had at least 3 Red Clay Stray drops in it.
Nice.
So Red Clay Strays, Moment of Truth, Landman on Paramount Plus.
Fucking excellent. Well, now I got to watch that.
Of the week.
Who's the supervisor on that?
That is Andrea von Forrester.
There, she's back.
Yep, she's back. And by the way, if you love any Taylor Sheridan stuff, so Lioness, Landman, Yellowstone, et al. Yeah. You need to get a hold of Andrea von Forrester because she's basically his music supervisor. Yeah. Ooh, did we just give you all the inside info? Holy shit.
Where's the Tylenol?
On this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Let's get to last call. I would like to shout out first lawyers who know what the fuck they're doing. All of you. I love you. The conversations we've had this week have been very illuminating. The ones who don't, I also would like to give a big fuck you to USPS.
Yeah.
We don't normally do that. This is normally a positive shout out thing, but no, I'm going to give you a reverse shout out. I'm going to shout you out for being a dumbass. The U.S. Post Office needs to get their shit together, fire Louis DeJoy, get them the fuck out of there. It's probably not going to happen, but I miss having good mail. I missed having a good postal service, and this is some bullshit. Stu, would you like to shout out someone for last call?
I'm going to give some love and consideration and extreme high fives. Couldn't do what you're doing to all of the firefighters that are currently fighting the fires in California, and the volunteers that are flying in from other fucking countries to help that too. Pretty amazing shit. And you know, as Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers.
And 40% of that force are prison mates.
Shit.
So please, when they get out of prison, maybe give them an apartment or a job because they're, you know, fighting fucking fires. Anyway, yes, LAFD. We're very strong in that. We're also going to put a link to that because we support the fuck out of firefighters here. I'll tell you that much. I will hear no ill will towards firefighters here.
I will buy all of their shirtless calendars.
Yes, the best of us. LAFD shirts are selling, and I'm going to try to put a link down here for you.
Cool.
Okay, that's a wrap for us. Hey, remember to subscribe and hit that bell on YouTube and give us 5 stars over there on Apple Podcasts. We're over on Spotify on video and on audio, and you might like us there. And you can follow us anywhere you follow people at 2ShotsMusicPod. That's the number 2 Shots Music Pod. Hey, I hope you write a great song and you look great, and I hope you take care of each other. And all of our love and commitment and prayers and juju and good stuff go out to everyone in LA and especially the firefighters. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yep. Yeah, write a great song. Love you. Bye-bye.
Love you. Goodbye.
It was like a pterodactyl on the end there.